There are many islands in the world, but one island was different. An island hidden from every map. A place where magic still lived. People said the trees could speak. The water glowed at night, and 2 moons appeared in the sky after sunset. Sailors who searched for the island never returned. Most people believed it was just a legend, but one boy wanted to discover the truth. His name was James. James was a 17-year-old boy who lived in a small coastal town. He loved mysteries and adventure stories. Every night, his grandfather told him stories about a magical island hidden somewhere beyond the ocean. Grandfather, James, there is an island filled with ancient magic and unbelievable secrets. James, laughing, that sounds impossible, Grandpa. But his grandfather never laughed. Grandfather, not every story is fake. One day, James's grandfather suddenly disappeared. No one knew where he went. The only things left behind were an old compass and a dusty diary. For years, James kept them hidden in the attic. Deep inside, he believed his grandfather would return someday. But 5 years passed, and then, one stormy night, everything changed. Heavy rain crashed against the windows. James was cleaning the attic when he noticed a strange wooden box hidden behind old furniture. The box had glowing symbols carved into it. Curious, James forced it open. Inside was an ancient map glowing with blue light. The moment he touched it, the lights in the room flickered. The wind became stronger, and suddenly, the old diary opened by itself. On the first page, James read, "If you are reading this, James, the island has chosen you." James froze. He quickly turned the page. Another message appeared. "Never trust the shadows." At that moment, the compass started spinning wildly. The map revealed a hidden route across the Pacific Ocean. James whispered, "James, Grandpa, were the stories actually real?" That night, James made a decision. He would find the island, no matter what happened. The next morning, James secretly went to the harbor. He prepared a small motorboat and packed food, rope, a flashlight, the diary, and the mysterious map. At first, the ocean was calm, but as James followed the map's direction, the weather suddenly changed. Dark clouds covered the sky. Huge waves crashed against the boat. Lightning flashed everywhere. The compass spun uncontrollably. Then James saw something terrifying beneath the water. A gigantic shadow moving deep in the ocean. James, what was that? Before he could react, a massive wave slammed into the boat. The engine stopped working. Suddenly, a giant whirlpool appeared in front of him. The boat was pulled toward it. James, no. Everything went dark. Soft, magical music begins. James slowly opened his eyes. He found himself lying on a glowing beach. The island looked impossible. Blue and purple trees lit up the jungle. Golden butterflies floated through the air. The rivers sparkled like crystal. And above the sky, there were 2 moons. James stood up in shock. Suddenly, he heard rustling behind him. A small glowing fox stepped out of the bushes. Fox. So, the human has finally arrived. James jumped backward. James, you can talk. Fox. Of course. Welcome to the magical island. The fox introduced himself as Lomo. As they walked through the island, James saw flying fish, glowing birds, and giant magical flowers. It felt like a dream. But then James noticed something strange. Parts of the island were dying. Some trees had turned black. The water in the rivers looked dark and poisoned. James, what happened here? Lumo's expression became serious. Lumo. Darkness is spreading across the island. Lumo led James to the center of the island. Floating high above the ground was a giant glowing crystal. Bright blue energy pulsed from inside it. Lumo, This is the crystal of life. It protects all magic on the island. But the crystal was cracked. Its light was fading. Suddenly, the air became cold. Dark smoke surrounded the crystal. A tall shadow slowly emerged. Red, glowing eyes, black armor, a long dark cape. It was Morvak, an evil sorcerer. Morvak. So, the grandson finally arrived. James stared at him. James, you knew my grandfather. Morvak smiled coldly. Morvak. He tried to stop me, and failed. James clenched his fists. James, where is he? Morvak laughed. Morvak, perhaps. Morvak slammed his staff into the ground. Suddenly, dark creatures appeared everywhere. Shadow wolves, flying monsters, giant black snakes. The island fell into chaos. Lumo, run! James and Lumo escaped into the jungle while the creatures chased them. Branches snapped behind them. Dark shadows moved between the trees. James almost fell off a cliff, but Lumo saved him just in time. Finally, they reached a hidden cave. Ancient symbols glowed on the walls. Then suddenly, James's grandfather's diary started glowing. A magical spirit appeared in front of them. Epic battle music begins. James returned to the Crystal Mountain. Morvak was absorbing energy from the crystal. The sky had turned completely black. The island was beginning to collapse. James pointed the glowing sword at him. James, this ends now. A massive battle began. Dark magic clashed against blue energy. Explosions shook the island. Morvak fired waves of shadow fire. James blocked them with the magical sword. Lumo and the island creatures joined the fight. But Morvak was incredibly powerful. James was thrown to the ground. Morvak laughed. Morvak, you are weak, just like your grandfather. Then, James remembered something his grandfather once told him. Real power comes from courage, not magic. James slowly stood up. The sword shined brighter than ever before. With all his strength, James launched one final attack. A massive explosion of light covered the entire island. Silence filled the air. The darkness was gone. The crystal of life glowed brighter than ever. The island was saved. Morvak had disappeared. Lumo smiled proudly. Lumo, you've saved us, James. Then suddenly, a familiar voice spoke behind him. Voice, I knew you could do it. James turned around. His eyes widened. It was his grandfather. Alive. James. Grandpa. His grandfather smiled. The sky became bright once again. The magical creatures celebrated. But suddenly, the map started glowing again. A new mysterious location appeared on it. James smiled. James, looks like the adventure isn't over yet. If you enjoyed this magical adventure story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Part 2.